Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky First Chapter Evolution. Fan translation patch. Because yes, this is actually a thing. Isn't this like an idiot imports, better late than never, and a homebrew video all in one? That's actually kind of strange, but well, we've got it going anyway. So some of you might be wondering what the hell this is, because isn't this a PSP game or a PC game that was ported from the PSP? Well, yes, that is technically true. However, Nihon Falcom, under the publishing wing of Katakawa, who you might know as the owners of Nippon Ichi Software, actually made a sort of HD remaster. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's a HD remaster. And it only ever came out on the Vita, and due to things like licensing agreements and stuff, that is like really strange, because again, it's between Nihon Falcom, Katakawa and whatever, so there was no chance Xseed was going to get their hands on it. But yes, more or less, they just made a HD remake of it, and we are going to take a look at it because some crazy people on the internet found a way to patch the game with the original English translation from Xseed. I don't know how they did it, but they did. And there is some new content in Evolution that needed to be translated from scratch, but apparently they've done that as well. So there you go. It's actually really impressive. I'm kind of surprised at just how well it works, actually. But nevertheless, we can go have a look around. And most of the options are pretty basic because while this is a HD remaster of Trails in the Sky First Chapter, they haven't really changed much in the way of gameplay. So if you've played the original game, you know exactly what's coming. It's just going to look a little bit nicer. And before any of you ask, did they do it for the entire trilogy? I mean, you can't see it from here, but they absolutely did. There are patches for all 3 titles. So, yeah, there's another reason to get Homebrew on your Vita. You can play what is probably the best version of all 3 titles. So, I have a few save files here. We're going to load into, I think, the one I'm going to highlight with my finger there, because it's got a few chats that we can go through to demonstrate the game's new voice acting. Of which there is a lot. There is actually tons of it. And while it says I've got about 7 hours 40 minutes there, the save game I've got here is at 7:45, so about 8 hours. You know, 8 hours. There was one point where I was basically just saying, I really need to get to a point where I can do a video on this, because I'm enjoying the game enough that I actually want to keep playing, and I don't want to be worrying about bloody getting a video done. Alright, here we are. So we can wander around for a bit. Actually, I should check. Wrong button. Did I actually do that side quest before this? I did not. So we can go and do that side quest first before I bother explaining any of the mechanics and all that. Oh no, I did actually do it on this save file. Whoops.
シェラザーだ。思ったよりも早く着いたな。わざわざロレントから歩いてご苦労様だったな。
ルグランジーさん、久しぶりね。もしかして私たちが来るっていう連絡があったの？
うん。先ほどアイナからな。それではそこのジョーちゃんたちがカシウスの子供たちというわけか。
ええ。お察しの通りよ。
はじめまして。エステル・ブライトです。
ヨシュア・ブライトです。よろしくお願いします。
わしはボース支部を預かるルグランというじじいじゃ。お前さんたちの親父さんとはいろいろ懇意にさせてもらっておれ。ルグランじいさんと呼んでくれ。
うん、ルグランじいさん。それで例の事件がどうなってるのか早速教えてくれないかな。
うん。それなんじゃが、王国軍による捜索活動は未だに続けられておるらしい。じゃが、軍の情報規制によって 状況が全く伝わってこないのじゃ。一般市民だけではなくギルドにも何の音沙汰なしでな。
なんでよ。軍とギルドって協力関係にあるんじゃないの？
それはあくまで建前ってやつよ。実際には様々な局面で両者が対立することは多いのよね。
つまり縄張り争いですね。
残念ながらその通りじゃ。しかも今回の事件に関してはモルガン将軍が絡んでいるらしい。
モルガン将軍？それは面倒な話になってきたわね。
何？そのモルガン将軍って。
10年前帝国軍の侵略を撃退した功労者として有名な人さ。歴史の教科書にも出てたはずだよ。
見事なくらい記憶にないわね。で、その有名人がどう問題なの？
聞いた話だとその将軍、大のブレーサー嫌いらしいのよ。遊撃士協会なんか必要ないって日頃から主張してるらしいわ。
むちゃくちゃなおっさんね。じゃあ何？その将軍のせいで情報が入ってこないってわけ？
それどころではない。軍が調査している地域にはブレイサーを立ち入り禁止にしおる。おかげで他の仕事にも支障をきたしておるのじゃよ。
そんな、せっかくロレントから来たのに。こうなったらその将軍と勝負してどっちが事件を調べるか決めるしか。
Whoops.
何むちゃくちゃ言ってるかな。
まあそう焦るでない。実は今回の事件に関してボースの市長から依頼が来ておる。軍とは別にギルド方面でも事件を調査してほしいとのことじゃ。
あら、それは心強いわね。ボース市長の正式な依頼があればこちらが動く大義名分になるわ。
なるほど、渡りに船ってやつね。ルグランじいさん、私たちその依頼を受けるわ。
いいじゃろう。とその前にお前さんたちは準遊撃士じゃろ。
そうだけど。
準遊撃士とは言うなれば各支部に所属している見習いじゃ。つまりそれぞれの支部に監督されている身分なわけじゃ。そして現在のお前さんたちはロレント支部の所属になってある。
ということは
こちらの仕事を受けるには所属を変える必要があるんですね。
その通りじゃ。俺この転属手続きの書類にサインはするがいい。
ここに名前を記入と。
よかろう。遊撃士エステル並びにヨシュア、本日1520をもって両名のボース支部所属を承認する。これでお前さんたちはボース支部所属となったわけじゃ。
ちなみに正遊撃士になったら所属に関係なく仕事ができるわよ。義務と責任も増えるんだけどね。
なるほど。
まだまだ半人前ってことか。
まあこれで市長の依頼をお前さんたちに任せられるわい。市長の屋敷は西口の近くにある。行って話を聞いてくれたよから。
了解しました。
So that was fun. I don't have a problem with the voice acting in this game whatsoever. It's actually great. Everybody seems to fit their roles and such, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of issues along those lines. I will admit that I haven't actually played this game past this point. I have played the PSP version like once for an hour, but I just couldn't get into it because I had stuff to do. And just while I'm here, I just need to do a quick jump cut for a second. Just my imagination. Alright, so this game is actually a pretty traditional JRPG in the usual sense. So there are a few usual things we can do, including gain quests. We just got one as part of the main story to go talk to the mayor, but for the purpose of avoiding more story spoilers, that's my mouse cursor on the screen, we're going to just be going and doing side quests, of which there is a fair few. Let's see, a ferocious monster? lacking a certain cooking ingredient, and a ferocious monster, has been spotted roving the East Bose Highway. So we got 2 monsters to go kill and some ingredients to go grab. And you might have also noticed there that it said term L. That means long term, because quests in this game actually have a time period that you have to do them in. In this case, they're all long term, so we could probably go and do the story safely. But for cases that are short term, you really do need to worry about them, mainly because they have this annoying tendency to go away as soon as you go and do any other story event. I've been to that restaurant before, so I just need to remember where the damn hell it is. I'm pretty sure it was actually in the South Block. Oh no, this is it. Whoops. Oh dear, so I believe if we... No, that's the manager. Just need to skip that conversation. Was it? Hang on, brace and notebook. Nope, those are the quests from the last chapter. Okay, yeah. 5 tender poultry. Do I have that in my inventory right now? I might. I don't. I know these are the ingredients. Lucky me, I do. I can just go and finish that immediately. Nope, that's just the head chef. You can talk to pretty much everyone in this game, and even better, they will actually change their dialogue fairly often between story events. It's actually kind of nice just how much effort they put into the, into side dialogue. And this is a side quest, so there's actually voice acting here too. All of the side quests are voice acted. The only thing that isn't voice acted is chatting with the random people because of how much bloody writing there is. But yeah, it's nice. It's a really neat little detail, just how much dialogue there is. For some reason I'm dropping a lot of frames. I don't like that.
でも本当に見るだけじゃ申し訳ないな。そうだ。それじゃ一つお礼をさせてちょうだい。え、何？うちの店自慢のゴージャスなオムレツの作り方を教えてあげるわ。
More food.
うちの店ってこのアンテローゼの？ええ、もちろんそうよ。いいの？レシピを教えちゃって。心配はご無用。レシピ通りに作ったって同じ味が出せるわけじゃないわ。
さすが大した自信ね。
うまいとか下手とかそういう話じゃないのよ。ちょうど楽譜と音楽家の関係みたいなものね。同じ楽譜を見て演奏しても人によって曲の雰囲気は変わるものよ。奥が深いのね。レシピはあくまで美味しく作るためのコツってこと。簡単な決まりを守るだけでびっくりするくらい味が変わるから試してみて。やったー。よし、今度早速試してみようっと。
エステル、お願いだからしっかりレシピを見て作ってね。
何を失礼ね。人のことをとんでもない料理ベタみたいに言わないでよ。
だったら調味料くらいちゃんと量を測って入れてよ。エステルっていつもすごく大雑把じゃない。
まあ段取りも大事だけど、まずは料理を楽しむことね。案外それが一番のコツかもしれないわ。やっぱりそうよね。いろいろ教えてくれてありがとう。こっちこそ。たまにはうちの店で食事を楽しんでいってね。
Nice. So there is something I should actually point out about the translation and the way it works. Now, I said that the translation is absolutely fine, and to be fair, if I was even slightly less skilled at spotting things like this, I'd be able to say something along the lines of, oh, I know this is a Japanese game, they've, you know, had a little bit of issues translating to English. But the thing is, now, this isn't their fault. I know that they probably wouldn't have very much in the way of I know they wouldn't have very much in the way of things to, like, help them out in this situation, but you'll notice in one or two situations where they'll talk way past the line, as in, they'll say multiple words despite the text being shown on screen only being one word. Now, this isn't a problem, mainly because the translation is actually pretty damn accurate, even with, like, the little odds and ends they've made here and there. So, for example, you'll notice that Estelle will say something like okay in actual English and not Japanese, but they'll change what she says every now and again to give the translation a little bit of flavor. And in most cases, in fact in all cases I should say, of the game doing this I've seen so far, it's been close enough to accurate without actually changing anything that's being said. So it's just a good example of how a good localization can make things more palatable for English while not changing the underlying meaning. There's a few people who don't do that these days, so there you go. Alright. With that said, we are on the East Coast Highway, and I am positive I remember this correctly, but I'm positive that one of the things we need to kill is here. Yes, it's been spotted along the East Coast Highway, so now we can go and look for it. I already turned in my 2 quests, so I'm probably going to have to do a ton of editing in that early portion, but whatever. So we can wander around, and enemies will see us and try to attack us, but if we get far enough away, they'll lose interest. Except I didn't. Wait for him to turn around, now I can get behind him, attack him, and charge him. Because they'll give my team the advantage. It's very good, because we need that advantage. So the battle system is strategy RPG. They haven't changed much from the original game as far as I remember, so you wander over to monsters with an attack command, and you'll attack them. Very easy to understand. There are, of course, other things you can do. So, for example, whenever you get attacked or are attacked, you will get craft points. You can use these craft points in order to do a special craft attack. In this case, Estelle's Hurricane will attack enemies in a radius and also push them away slightly. Attacks will also push people away slightly, so it's very good for certain attacks that have an area of effect. You do also have an S-Break, or an S-Craft. This one in particular is the S-Break, but when you have over 100 craft points, you can use this attack, and you can actually trigger this attack at any time, including during another point on the chain. So if I hold the triangle button and select Joshua's S-Break, I can then do it right then and there. I can also do this out of sync, as I said, so if someone else is on the attack, I can trigger an S-Break to happen right after that attack. This actually comes in very handy in certain situations. I'm going to try not to abuse the S-Crafts too much, because they really are very useful attacks. You do not want to waste them. Looks like we're just going to have to attack this one head on. You do also have arts. Arts are basically your magic attacks. They cost EP, and they take some time to actually charge up. You can have multiple arts on one character at any one time, and the ones that you have are determined by the quartz that you have installed, and we'll take the time to explain what they are later. You have multiple different kinds of them, including support ones, recover ones, and stuff like that. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary on this one. She even has an area of effect one, which is nice, but they all take time to charge up. So I can give her a strength boost. Now I got lucky on that one, and as you can see on the top left there, it is a 0 arts. Now 0 arts are interesting. 0 arts let you use arts immediately without actually encouraging a cost. Oh dear. Oh, that stings. Oh lord. Right. We need to do something about that. So I have a critical going on there. Now this is what they call, well, I don't remember exactly what they call this system, but basically this is a system where you can basically several abilities have the ability to delay certain enemies. You also have the ability to move yourself up sometimes, I believe. I think I remember that from second chapter, but I could be wrong about that. So, generally, attacks happen in turns, obviously. It's an SRPG. And sometimes you can make things happen by delaying turns and taking turns earlier and stuff like that. Hang on, do I have the revive here? No, I don't. I have to use my reviving bomb then. That's okay. But yeah, sometimes you can make things happen by delaying turns. Oh dear, what's it gonna do? Oh god, that's a life suck. That's not great. Right. But yeah, sometimes you can make things happen by doing things like delaying the enemy's turn and moving yours up. There are multiple different kinds of things that can happen. Like, for example, Sherazade there is about to get something called a bad attack, and a bad attack will apply a status effect to the enemy that you use it on. Unfortunately, oh no, is that paralyzed? I think I just paralyzed it. That might actually work in my favor. Do I really want? Yeah, let's taunt it. Let's make things interesting. Okay, so its defense is down. Yeah, I believe that's... Yes. So I managed to actually skip its turn. Because it's, I don't remember what that status effect actually is. But yes, now we get to beat the crap out of it. And we get to delay its turn again. So if I use this, this craft here, it actually delays its turn. So now I get CP heal, which is awesome, because that means I can do taunt on it again and keep its defense down. And then Sherazade gets 0 arts, which means I can use any magic attack that I want and beat the bejesus out of it. Not only that, I get to do it twice. But thankfully that's not necessary because we just beat the absolute stuffing out of it. So we get XP and we get Sepith. Now, Sepith is interesting. It's a kind of currency. You can change it for the actual currency, which is Myra. How are we doing on the stats by the... Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we should just give Estelle something to eat first. We'll do the usual menu diving stuff shortly, trust me. I just want to make sure her health is up to snuff. Because I have a feeling the scorpion that we're about to run into is going to be a bit of a problem. But for now, let's just go into another fight. I am playing this on normal difficulty. The game offers 4 difficulties. I'm just going to hold the X button here to skip their attacks because we got the critical attack, so we get a bunch of turns in a row. Very useful. We can also hold the X button to skip through the battle results, which is nice. But yeah. There are 4 difficulties. One of them is called Nightmare, and I thought to myself, I don't want to go anywhere near that. I am playing on normal, and as you can see, I am capable of blowing through these just by getting a proper attack from behind going. With that said, it's not always that easy. There are some enemies who will you'll be forced to take head on. Although, frankly, you probably just want to exploit this as much as humanly possible. And there are, of course, plenty of strategic things going on. Like, you can always use these battles to buff up your CP a little bit before you need to go into an actual fight. Whoops. Oh, there was a line in the sand there. Unfortunately, the opposite can also happen, where you get attacked from behind and they get a free attack on you, but frankly, it does not seem to have mattered here because I get a free critical, and we're done. Tiny little outcroppings there. Now, it's going to warn me as soon as I find the monster in question, because it's done it before. I've already played a side quest like this. Yeah, alright, we'll let you have it. Oh, that's gonna sting a little.
行くよ
Thank God I made him blind.
戦闘終了
There we go. This is the East Bose Highway. I know it is. So where's the Scorpion? Am I still on it? Yeah, I'm still technically on it. Okay. Whoop. The characters in the back can actually get hit from behind. You do want to be careful about that. That goes to an area which I haven't been told to explore yet, so I'm trying to stay out of the way just in case. Where the hell is this Scorpion? It's a very basic world here. I mean, it is the same world that was on the PSP, just in a lot higher definition. I did go and check out the PSP version of Trials in the Sky First Chapter, and it's more or less the same environment, just given a fresh coat of paint. Not to mention it's in higher resolution, so therefore it looks a lot nicer. It is actually really good looking. Like, obviously there are a few things about it, like the sprites are still two-dimensional, for example, and that... Oh, there it is. Didn't even see it there. Yep. Right, we're gonna save the game just in case, but yeah. The game is basically the same as it was on the PSP, but they've given everything higher quality textures. Some of the models just look better because they're in higher resolution. And the game itself just looks absolutely fine. Like, look at it. It's really nice, even if it's a little bit like, you know, PSP-y. There is one thing that people have complained about, though, and that's the faces. They've been given a little bit of the anime brush. You can see a little bit of an example. If I go back to the live area here, you can see a couple of the other characters who've been given a bit of a anime-style makeover. I'm not against it, personally. I think it looks fine. I mean, I've seen the original art, and the original art is still good, don't get me wrong, but I don't mind this art either. Still works. Nevertheless, let's go fight a giant scorpion. Oh! 4 giant scorpions! Oh shit, there goes the planet. Alright. We'll just get as much of an attack in as we possibly can. I do have 100 craft points with... Oh! Oh! Oh. That is not great. And what's her attack power on there? 12. I don't think I'm ready for this. Let's just delay a couple of their attacks for as long as possible. Oh boy. Right. At least this confirms one thing to me. They're not invulnerable, they just need to have certain attacks used on them. But thankfully, we can just do this and try and keep them in back as long as humanly possible. We'll bind this one because it's out of the corridor. She can't craft. I can make her do an art, though. That would be probably useful. Alright, we'll do it on the guy who's out of line. And we will flicker again, because thankfully this hits in a line. You can also use S-Breaks at 200 points, at which point they will be double the power, which is nice. Alright, so off goes her art, and that really didn't help. Oh god. Oh boy. Smack. At least that helped out slightly. Yeah, she's still in bind. I could probably use an item to get that off her. Unfortunately, I can't. Bollocks. We can try Aqua Bleed. That might help. And we can also try flickering these 3 guys again to get them out of the bloody way so they don't get an attack. Thank God the one in the back is dead at least. Aqua Bleed didn't help anywhere near as much. Bollocks again. We'll try Aerial. Just everyone there. And since he gets 0 arts, I can choose to use an arts again, and since I can't flicker, might as well use one of his arts. Can I use anything? Interesting. That one has the most health. So it can go screw itself. Alright, this is where things start to suck. He gets a EP heal. We can also flicker. And I'll flicker this one away so that it doesn't get an attack. And that hurts him. Well, at least Joshua leveled up from that. A little bit of a disaster, I will not lie, but well, it worked. So at least we killed the damn thing. Let's use that potluck in a shell to get Estelle up. And we learned the recipe for it. So now's as good a time as any to start the menu dive, but first I just want to get back to town so that I can demonstrate a few things, because I've earned a little bit. And we'll just see how well that goes for me. We can also walk here if we want to, but there doesn't seem to be any point. Maybe you'll stop monsters from noticing you, but generally in this game you want to battle as much as possible because you do get items and Sepith and whoopsie doodle. You do get items and Sepith for it, which is nice. Not to mention XP, and considering that the difficulty of the game jumped up pretty significantly when I crossed over into the second area, you kind of do want those levels. You really do. Goodbye. And we're back in town. Cool. So everything I want to do is in the south block, so we want to generally be heading this way. Alright, so you do of course have items and weaponry you can go buy, but we're not going to do that because our money is lacking. So before we go into the Orbital shop, I have to explain to you what Orbitals are. Excuse me. So you've got your Augment menu here, and your Augment menu determines not only how much MP you have, or EP in this game as they call it, but what kinds of abilities you can use. So as I said before, we've got 4 things here. These are orbital slots. You can have up to 6. I believe they let you upgrade these in the second game, but I could be remembering this wrong. And for example, we could choose to swap out any one of these that we like. So if I wanted to swap out the Zeptium Fane for Eagle Vision, it would give me the ability to see enemies on the minimap. There are also other things like max HP plus 10, strength plus 3, critically strike with 10% success. You get the general idea. You do also have the ability to put multiple of the same kind into a single person. So if I remove this one here and give... Oh, right, can't give it to her because she can't have 3 of the same thing. Whoops! But yeah. There are also certain quartz that can only be put in certain areas, so I've got 2 time elementals here, but since this one's a free slot, I can put anyone I want here. So if I want to put HP 1, for example, I could do that. But we're going to keep in P2 here, because it gives him more time abilities. Because you can see here that the elementals also have different elemental affiliations. So we've got 2 time and 1 fire. Estelle has 2 fire, 1 earth, and 1 water. And these affect what arts they can use. So as you can see, 2 fire gives me firebolt and flare arrow. If I only had 1 fire, I could only use firebolt. Sherazade has 2 wind here, so she gets... Whoops. So she gets the 2 wind abilities. You can also hook up similar ones in the individual slots. So at least I believe this is how this works. So, do I have a wind one that I can actually... No, I don't. That's really unfortunate. You don't get very much in the way of orbals in the beginning of the game, so you can't play too much with how everything works, which is a little unfortunate. But yeah, I believe if you put similar ones in slots next to each other, it actually gives them a little bit of extra power, which is nice. But yes, you go through the game, you get these augments, you stick them in, and they affect what your abilities are, what your stats are, and how you can use them, which is a very neat idea. You do, of course, have your regular items, including key items, ingredients for cooking, which we'll get to. books which you can read, which is actually kind of nice. And they actually give you these little bits of background information about the world, including news and like little just things going on in the world. Which is nice. You can go and buy them at bookshops and read them in libraries and stuff like that. And of course you can add your tactics so that you can have everybody in certain places. There's not much in the way of like, you know, certain formations giving you attack power and stuff like that. It's just, you know, put your strong members in the front, your weak members in the back, and that's how it goes. You can save and load anywhere, of course. There's your options again. Very easy to understand. You can actually change the background music if you've got the DLC, but I don't have the DLC on this right now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can change your equipment. You got 2 accessory slots, feet, chest, and weapon. Also, her last name is Harvey. That's actually kind of funny. But yeah, as you can see, it just changes your stats, and some of them give you certain things like preventing blind and stuff like that, but nothing particularly out of the ordinary, you know. So we can actually go into the Orbital Factory now and talk to this guy. We can ask him to modify our quartz. Our orbals, I should say. We can also take the Myra that we have gotten, and we can use these to actually build new, we can actually use these to build new things. So we can actually get another time orbment here, and another time orbment here. And if we do that, now we can go back to Joshua and change his quartz. Unfortunately, I forgot to actually unlock an extra one for him, so... Oh. Damn, you can't put a P2 in. Well, that sucks. Alright, well, we'll put cast in instead. So now he's got 3 time elementals, which should change his abilities. Okay. That works, I suppose. We can also open up Augment slots using, again, Sepith. Unfortunately, I just spent all the Sepith I actually need to actually open up any of the slots that I've got, which is kind of annoying, but there you go, that's just the way it works. But once you open them, it gives them more EP alongside giving you the extra slot. You can also exchange Sepith in order to get some extra money. So I can do that and get myself some extra money. You can do this pretty much anywhere there's a shop. Whoops, I didn't mean to actually talk to him again. And yeah, you can just come here to set them as you please. So yeah, that's pretty much the... Well, there are more things to show, of course. If I hold the triangle button, it'll actually give us a few shortcuts. Some of them are pretty obvious, like you can see the monster guide, which will be upgraded with more data as you go throughout the game. You can see the Kingdom of Labelle's map, including all the places you will eventually visit, and a couple of details about the areas around the place. I believe the Erebonian Empire is where Trails of Cold Steel takes place. Actually takes place after this series, but, you know, that's just... I believe. I could be forgetting. And of course, you've got your Bracer notebook, which will teach you everything you need to know. And they've also gone through the effort of translating the absolute majority of this, which is good. And you can also see the things that you will get by upgrading your Bracer rank, which is really nice because it actually gives you your reason to go and complete jobs for the Bracer Guild. And you can also go to your recipe book. Your recipe book contains... Really? That's actually kind of cool. We can make a ton of those, and that's what I'm going to do. Easy KO heals. That's actually really nice. But yeah, you can come here and cook food if you've got the ingredients for them. And of course, there are different kinds of food. You've got sit-down food, which is required to be had out of battle, but gives you stuff like KO heal for everybody and all that, or little things like batch, like, abilities for everybody. Or you can make to go, which applies to only one person and also sometimes has things but can be used in battle. And the way you learn new cooking items is by eating them. So I believe if I use this mouthful of soup here, I learn the recipe for it. And then we can go back and actually check it out. And I've actually got the stuff to make it, so I can do that. It's all very simple stuff, but I like it. It's well done enough. It's been keeping me engaged, even on the normal difficulty where things can be a little bit too easy sometimes. And of course you can wander around and talk to random people. Hi. Sorry to hear that, buddy. We're not going to bother going around and talking to everybody because there's just way too much of that to be done. So let's go and turn that quest in, and then we can go fight that other monster if we know where to go to actually get to it. Let's go back to the Bose Bracer Guild. We talk, we report. Gives me 1,000 Myra, 4 BP. And if I have enough BP, I rank up. So if we go back to our Bracer notebook, a ferocious monster has been sighted along the trail behind Ravenue Village. Where the hell is that? For details, please see me in the village. Oh, I see. So, again, where is that village? I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess it's to the south, because we came from the east. So if I press the the select button does give me the map. It's the start button, isn't it? There we go, so now I can see all the locations. It's a little bit weird that it's still up and here in the sky. No, that leads to, oh yeah, Valeria. That was where we were going, right? Me and my fucking memory, I swear. No, Ravenue. So where's Ravenue then? Because that can't be Valeria. I have no idea. I doubt it's off to the west. And it's definitely not to the north. More monsters, of course. And I just walked right into one because I'm an idiot. Hold the X button to speed things up a little bit. And we're in a little bit of trouble. Alright. So... might as well attack one and see how it is. I haven't actually fought these monsters yet. Okay, they at least take regular physical damage. I get a free art here, so there's no reason for me not to use this. So... oh, damn. Can't hit more than one. What about... nope, that doesn't work either. Alright, we'll clock up all of us to make us go faster. Whoop. Oh god, my art just got broken. That's not great. Well, I get Rush here, which is useful, because that means I can attack twice. So let's just attack the one that's already been hurt, so that we get to beat on it just a little bit. There we go. Now I've got the craft to do a flicker. And I can choose which one to do it on. We'll make it that one, because I don't like what that debilitating aroma has. These two should be close enough together. Yep, so we'll just use this craft here. Hurts them both, thank god. We can't attack or craft, but we can art. Whoop, she just went to sleep. That one in the middle is probably going to be somewhat resistant to attacks. God damn it. Well, she's up, but she's dazed. Great. That was close.
この調子でいくわよ。
How close is it? We can also tap on the minimap there. It's just around the corner. Okay, cool. Whoop. Oh, god damn it. We're not even close, are we? So yeah, that is absolutely going to be Valeria. Alright, we're just gonna head back and... Actually, that'll probably be enough. Let's just do like 1 or 2 more fights, huh? Probably should have healed everybody up before we went in. Not great.
仕置きしてあげるわ。
私の番ね。
Oh yeah, you can probably hurricane right now, can't ya? I probably want to craft, damn it. Yeah, she can hurricane, she can hit everybody. I want to do that. Should probably make an attempt to heal up. Let's see. Yeah, we probably want to get her as highly healed as possible. And we learned the recipe for it in the middle of battle. Wonderful. She'll be fine. She can put out another whip. Somehow managed to miss the one I was aiming for, but I got both the dudes next to him, so that's nice. We'll just get you to attack normally. And he gets 0 arts. Thankfully, that's all he can fucking do at the moment, so it's actually quite useful. Shadow Spear. You even get some health back. Wonderful. Let's just do another one of those. Nope. Of course, it wasn't going to let me get away with it. Thankfully, we're just gonna beat the shit out of this thing no matter what we do. So we're just gonna bloody tank it with spells. There is absolutely no way it can survive this. Unless all 3 of these manage to miss, but generally all the spells I've put out so far have managed to hit. So... Yep, you weren't getting away from that no matter what you tried, big guy. I'm sorry. Close to leveling her up. But yeah, we're gonna head back up north to oh boy. Damn it! Really should have healed everyone. Guess they all get an attack now. By Joshua. Great. Item. Yeah, potluck in a shell, why not? He's not gonna live much longer though, is he? Oh, Jesus. Right. More heals, please. Do we have something that cures... I assume that's days? No, I don't think we've got anything that can cure that anyway. With that said, I should probably try and heal. Oh, God, this is a bad situation to be in. More heals! Should probably give one to him since he's the only one who can fucking move at the moment. Damn it, he's got no craft, so I can't delay them any longer. I'll just clock down these two, make them slower if I can. Horses back up, and they're both down. And let me guess. Yep. Okay. I think we can just call this a wash and try and run away. That did not help.
けてたまるもんですか。一体
Slightly better chance to run away. Nope, that's it. We're
そん
done.
な囲まれた。
Oh dear. Alright. That works though. That was 50 minutes. We saw a relatively complicated boss fight. Took a look at all the mechanics. Had some cutscenes and all that. So there we go. That was a look at The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky First Chapter Evolution. I like it. It's clearly got a bit of a slow pace going on, but it is the first game in a trilogy, so I can't exactly blame them for that one. It is still really comfy though. They did a really good job upgrading the graphics over the PSP version. The voice acting that they've added is really good. The fact that they've just almost seamlessly put the the original translation from the PSP version into this version is really well done, and it could almost convince you that you're playing a natively English title. And, well, the strategy gameplay is still fun enough with the modifying the turn order to try and get yourself as many benefits as possible, while also having things like crafts and arts to work with so that you're never low on potential strategy. And yeah, it's a good game, and I really do need to get around to playing this trilogy, which is why I got the entire trilogy. Because there you go. Well, this has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.